Okay, welcome back to Bayou Time, and thanks for sticking with us. Graham Harvey is now joining us, our Nicholls State University segment. Graham, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Jim.
All right, good. How education has changed, and you're going to tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. Our topic this evening is online learning at Nicholls. To my left is Miss Becky Leblanc. She's an instructor of English at Nicholls, and to her left is Dr. Andrew Simoncelli. He is a coordinator of electronic learning and assistant professor of mass communication.
All right,
thank you both for coming.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you for asking.
All right, very good.
First of all, this question is to both of you.
Okay.
Tell us when and why did you become involved in online learning at Nicholls?
Andy told me to go first.
Go right
That's
ahead.
what I'm doing. Back in 1999, I saw Blackboard in use for the first time, and I was so impressed with what I knew Blackboard could do for my traditional classes that I immediately began to use it on campus in regular classes, and then saw how easy it would be to transform that into a class where students were not in class at all, because basically it could do everything that I was doing. So I approached the administration about offering online classes in addition to the same ones I was teaching. I have been in Thibodeau all my life. I was born and raised here. One of my passions has always been to find a way to allow adults who graduated from high school back when I did, when it wasn't particularly important to go to college, and they got jobs, perhaps right out of high school, had children, and never could go to college because they couldn't quit their jobs, they couldn't leave their children. So I was just kind of envisioning this idea that in this whole Tri-Parish area, the huge number of those adults could be offered a chance to actually go to college, which they were not going to be able to do until then. So I started offering the English 101 and 102 classes, which are required courses. So what that did was allow people who didn't ever think they would really go to college to kind of get started.
Sure.
And then, from there, we began to add on the next courses in terms of the English department that they would have to take in order to get a degree in anything. And so that's kind of where it started.
Well, same question.
Yeah, I first came to Nicholls in 1999, and they had some grants for video conferencing and for the software Blackboard for the online learning. So I was actually there in the forefront when it first started. I remember sitting around with my boss at the time saying, what do we call this department? Let's call it distance learning. We just decided to call it that, and our first online course at Nicholls was offered in 2000. And so I've been there in that office since it began in 99, and I've been there ever since, and we have continued to grow. And now mostly our online courses e-learning courses are the online courses. That's the ones the students prefer the most, and we have grown a lot since 1989.
And let me ask you, just to follow up on that, the e-learning, I guess that's what it's called, at least according to my cheat sheet here. And also, how does that work actually at Nicholls? If somebody, how does that, I've heard about it, but never really experienced it myself.
Well, e-learning, we also go by distance learning. It's one of those things, some people call it distance learning, some people call it e-learning, but we go by both things. And e-learning could be video classes where you take a class at Nicholls, and the teacher could be somewhere else at LSU or Grambling or anywhere around the country, to be honest. Or you could do courses by cassette. Any kind of technology could be electronic learning, and any kind of technology we use. But the most popular one by far is the online courses. And what we do at Nicholls in e-learning is we try to make these courses almost identical to the face-to-face courses as far as how students get into classes and what they involve. The online courses, the e-learning courses, they go the same length of the semesters. Today was the first day of classes for online classes and face-to-face classes, and they'll all end in early May. So as far as it goes for a student, it's the same process.
Okay.
Well, could you expand on that a little bit, the differences and similarities between an online course and the same course taught in a traditional classroom setting?
You want to handle how it's different, Becky?
Sure. Basically, my courses that are taught online are the exact same course. The difference would be that the students who are taking the online course are in their house when they're taking it. But as far as what they're doing, they're doing the same exact thing, and I guess you would wonder how that's done. But Blackboard allows interaction, which I'm very, very big on. I think the students need, especially in a class like mine where they're writing and sharing what they're reading and all that, to be able to correspond with each other. Blackboard does that. And so for students who are not able to experience the college setting, does the same thing. Sure. They're in a Blackboard with other students. They're discussing what they're doing. The assignments are the same. They post assignments to Blackboard, and so that's how they turn them in to us. Most of the work that's done is shared. They'll talk about what they're doing on discussion board. They can ask questions. We have there's a chat room also available on Blackboard. So at times, when there are things that they want to discuss live, we will go in chat and talk about that.
There's interaction.
Yes, and small groups. Students in my online classes are in small groups just like they are in a regular class. Yeah. So they really get basically the same effect, but they can do it at night or, on the weekend, whenever their time is available, rather than having to be at Nicholls. I think especially with the gas crisis and the problems with the driving, students were coming from Morgan City and below Houma and South Lafourche. Online courses allows them to cut out that extra hour of drive back and forth and the cost of gas. So
very good. I'm just curious, what are some of the steps, I guess, involved for a student, Doctor, if you don't mind, in taking an all-on course? Okay,
and that's something that e-learning and we have a committee on campus that Becky's involved in as well, that we try to make them identical for face-to-face classes. So if you're a student out there who wants to take an online class, first thing you do is register for the university, enroll at the university like you would ordinarily. And then you would get an advisor. You'd be assigned an advisor, probably in university college. And then you go through financial aid if you need financial aid. And then once you're registered, you can enroll in a class like everybody else. And you go to a list of courses, and just like you see English 101 at 2T or 3T or 4M, these are numbers that Nicholls uses and other schools use, you'll see www. And what that means is it's an online class, which is through Blackboard. And what Blackboard is, it's a course management system. It's basically a website that's out there, and teachers can go in there and construct it to put their own course content and lectures and video and pictures and links and syllabi, whatever they want to put in there on the class. And what students do, whenever they enroll at the university, they get a username and password, and it's for all Blackboard courses. And every class at Nicholls is on Blackboard. Every class, whether it's online or a PE class or anything, it's on Blackboard. Teachers can put grades on there, just basic functions. But a fully online class like Becky teaches is a lot more interactive, a lot more content on there. But a student will go first day of class today, they'll log on to Blackboard, and they'll see their whole list of courses on the site, on Blackboard. And they can go there and see her content and my content, whatever class they have.
All right. Very interesting. I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to take a break. Don't go away. Some interesting stuff. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.